From not wanting to share the stage to wardrobe malfunctions, here's our list of celebrities who destroyed their careers at the Super Bowl. Now, Janet Jackson performed at the halftime show of the Super Bowl in 2004. Now, she had an amazing performance, at least until her surprise guest, Justin Timberlake, joined her. Now, he sang the lyric, "I'm gonna have you" by the end of this song, and then he tore open her costume, exposing her right breast to 140 million viewers. Now, the incident was then referred to by the media, and the FCC received more than 500,000 complaints about the broadcast. CBS was fined $550,000, and the NFL was asked to refund the $10 million they'd been given to the halftime show sponsor. Janet was the one who received the criticism for this incident, and not really Justin, who was the one who tore her clothes. Now, weeks later, both Janet and Justin were asked to not attend the Grammys, which, just like the Super Bowl, were airing on CBS, unless they agreed to apologize on stage. Now, Janet was slated to be a part of a planned tribute to Luther Vandross, while Justin had been nominated for several awards and was also scheduled to perform. Of the offer to attend if they agreed to an on-air apology, their statement said, "Miss Jackson declined the invitation, Mr. Timberlake accepted." Now, as a result, Janet ended up being cut from the tribute, while Justin took home awards for Album of the Year and Best Vocal Pop Album. "I know it's been a rough week on everybody," he said during his acceptance speech. "What occurred was unintentional, completely regrettable, and I apologize if you guys are offended." Now, Janet later released a video apology in which she said, "The decision to have a costume reveal at the end of my halftime show performance was made after final rehearsals. MTV was completely unaware of it. It was not my intention that it go as far as it did. MTV, CBS, and the NFL had no knowledge of this whatsoever, and unfortunately, the whole thing went wrong in the end." Now, speaking to USA Today, Janet said that she felt humiliated that tens of millions of people saw her exposed breast, but did not feel that the outrage was justified. She was then blacklisted as she was removed from upcoming projects and her music stopped playing on the radio. It seemed like this was a career ender for her, but slowly over the years, her career recovered. But again, nothing really happened to Justin and it barely affected him. Then there was the incident with M.I.A. in 2012. You see, Madonna was performing at the Super Bowl halftime show that year, and she brought multiple artists out on stage, one being M.I.A. Afterwards, the NFL promptly issued an apology, saying the obscene gesture in the performance was completely inappropriate, very disappointing, and we apologize to our fans. Now, NBC also apologized, and a month after the game, the NFL was reportedly seeking $16 million in damages, with M.I.A. tweeting after the news broke, at Madonna, "Can I borrow $16 million?" Now, the FCC reportedly received 222 complaints about the Super Bowl that year, with many citing M.I.A.'s middle finger stunt as one of the reasons. Now, speaking to Huck, she said that the lawsuit activated so many people to come after me on so many different levels, and that in terms of racism and sexism, the situation showed the cracks in everyone I knew. She added, "I was at Rock Nation at the time and Jay-Z was managing me. The lawsuit was so ridiculous, it proposed that they would keep 100% of my earnings for the rest of my life if I ever earned more than $2 million. Jay-Z was like, 'You should sign that and I was like, "No." "Oh, you're lucky you're not in jail, give up all your profit, be the slave for the rest of your life." Now, the NFL ultimately sued M.I.A. for $1.5 million on breach of contract grounds, and the lawsuit was settled in August of 2014, but the terms of the settlement remained private. Now we have J.Lo. She didn't really ruin her career at the Super Bowl, but it was what happened afterwards. Now, leading up to J.Lo's halftime performance, they were being filmed for a documentary. But when the footage was released, it appeared that J.Lo wasn't as happy sharing the stage as she appeared to be. Jennifer was frustrated with the organizers of the halftime show for giving her and Shakira the same amount of time that any solo performer would receive, rather than doubling it for their performance. For context, performers at the halftime show are usually given 12 to 16 minutes on stage, but it's not uncommon for multiple artists to share the stage for a performance of this time length. Now, one recent Super Bowl, for example, example, saw stars Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, Kendrick Lamar, and 50 Cent, with each member only receiving a few minutes directly centered in the spotlight. However, J.Lo was clearly unhappy with the idea of her and Shakira dividing the time between them, telling her music director Kim Burse in her Netflix documentary, "We have 6 effing minutes, but there's going to be certain songs that we sing though. We have to have our singing moments, we have to sing our message," she said, before going on to label the entire thing as the worst idea in the world. "It's such a big stage and it's such an important show, and it's been a nightmare since we started," she adds. "I'm trying to give you something with substance, not us out there shaking our effing butts and effing belly dancing," she says. "I want something real. I want something that's going to make a statement, that's going to say we belong here and have something to offer." Now, not long after the doc was released, this particular line of dialogue was shared across Twitter, with a number of fans raising concerns about what J.Lo might have been insinuating about the art of belly dancing. Now, for some context, belly dancing has long been associated with Middle Eastern cultures, and from the earliest days of her career, Shakira has become known for this style of dance. So it was pretty rude and insensitive of J.Lo to say that. Now, while this is what it was like behind the scenes, to the whole world, J.Lo was acting all happy about sharing the stage. But as soon as her real feelings about the situation started to come out, fans called her out for her entitled attitude, arguing that regardless of the time constraints, she and Shakira were still able to put on an amazing performance. And finally, Kendrick Lamar, this year's performer, could do some serious damage to his career. As you may know, Kendrick and Drake went back and forth with diss tracks against each other last year, and things got pretty messy. Now, in the end, Kendrick won, and his song Not Like Us did numbers. Now, it actually won quite a few Grammys this past week, but Drake hates it and is actually suing. Last month, Drake filed a lawsuit over Not Like Us, accusing Universal Music Group of defaming him by boosting the diss track. The case, which doesn't name Kendrick as a defendant, at least for now, claims UMG spread the song's malicious narrative despite knowing it was false. Now, UMG represents both Drake and Kendrick, so this is a little messy of a situation. Now, with the lawsuit, it has people questioning if Kendrick will even perform the song, even though it's a huge hit. I mean, a lot of people are on Kendrick's side, but if he performs this, who knows what Drake's team and his fans could do. Now, it might be safer for Kendrick not to perform it, but reps for Kendrick did not return a request for comment on whether or not he'll perform the song, but the British tabloid newspaper The Sun, citing anonymous sources, reported last week that Kendrick has faced pressure to skip the track but plans to perform it anyway and won't be silenced. So it seems like we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Well, that's all for our list of celebrities who destroyed their careers at the Super Bowl. Now, are you excited to watch this year's performance? Let us know in the comments down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. I'm your host, Emily, and we'll see you next time. Peace.